All right, the chat's on fire tonight.
You're welcome, high value men. However, like checking women, they're not going to listen if you anger them. So you have to like talk to them with empathy. I know this is shocking, but like millennial men, for some reason they bought into this nonsense about like gender equality and I can have these more feminine traits. No, thank you. So Gen X men, they had to run game. They had to know game. And if you go look at like old 80s movies, there was like the jock and their cheerleader. There was like masculine and feminine. And so like these dudes, they had to get your number and you had to call and then you had to make plans and then you got rejected in person. I don't know what's going on with like the social media and the swipes. These dudes have like no game, right? Now women, like we don't have game either because you know what the men tell me about like modern game? They say like we suck at conversation.
Yeah, most of us are pretty personality-less, I'd have to say. And I totally agree. Back in the day, dudes had to be a dude, be a man. But, there's just like, you've got all your numbers and I'm blanking on mine, but the levels of testosterone in men today versus in men 60 years ago are insanely different. Yeah. And that's not, just your fault. America's, food system is just an absolute joke, and we are just eating garbage our whole life, and everything's made out of soy, and it's not really to their fault. And I don't want to be like, screw the government, but there is a serious like biological lack there.
Mm-hmm. So men today are half as fertile as their grandfathers. Like the same thing's happening to women, right? But it's like the testosterone is dropping, sperm count is dropping. So like we can look at environmental things, but I'm more on the romantic side of things when it comes to like I do want a masculine man that I look up to, which means I don't necessarily want to be equal to my husband, and so like that's why I ended up dating older. That's why I ended up marrying older. I don't think that I think there's a very small pool of masculine millennial men, and I think competition would have been probably really hard for me. I don't even know the kind of women that they would have married, probably more on the traditional side of things for those men that were willing to get married. But my husband has shared some stories as well. Like he just couldn't say no to women until he was like 35. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes it is beneficial to go older. So like don't forget that part. But age gaps to you guys, like 23 years is a lot, okay? But like an age gap to y'all could be like 4 to 7 years, and like just don't forget that you don't have to just date the guys your age.
Well, I think that's so normalized now, like dating someone older than you. Like I don't think that that's any bit off. The guy that you're dating is 20 something years older than you. I know this is a little bit weird because it was a long time ago, but my grandma is dating someone, I want to say 30 years younger than her. And they've been together for like 10 years now. And at first, like when I was young, hearing that, I'm like, what the fuck? But now I'm like, okay, it's a little bit more normal. And like growing up, I also dated older guys, so I don't think that there's anything weird about that.